What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? All right. So in this training, we're gonna talk about product launching. So once you have your product created, how do you launch it? How do you actually turn that product into money, into dollar signs? So we're gonna talk about the types of product launches, a bunch of different types of product launches, but we're gonna talk about the ones that I'm familiar with that I know um, can put money in your pockets that I've successfully done and that I recommend. All right. We're going to talk about how to do a successful product launch. So, what does it take to do a successful product launch? What do you need to do? What needs to be in place? What steps do you need to take? All right. And then what to do if a product launch doesn't go as planned. So, I'm not one of those people that's going to make it sound like, you know, every product launch is gonna go as planned. Like everything's gonna be perfect all the time. That's not how the world works. They're gonna sometimes you might do a product launch and it might flop. All right, it's happened to me. It happens to everyone. Right, even the gurus. When you get to a certain level, you can kind of make things happen regardless. But I mean, you can still have a launch that doesn't go as planned. So we're gonna talk about that. All right, so types of product launches. So the first one is a big JV and affiliate product launch. So this is a product launch where you see a bunch of people promoting the same launch. You see usually these products end up becoming product of the day. If we're talking about internet marketing launch, if you're in the internet marketing niche and you know about like Warrior Plus and JV doing stuff like that, they have like product of the day and stuff like that. So usually the people who get those type of awards are the ones who put a lot of effort and place a lot of emphasis on JV and affiliate recruitment. So I mean, if you want to make some big money, then this is the way to go. Put a lot of time and effort into recruiting JVs and affiliates. Okay. Now, we'll talk about this in more detail in another video, but this really just comes down to like relationship building, making friends. If you're a pretty social person and you know how to apply that on the internet, that's perfect. If not, if you're more of like an offline person, you're social in like offline settings, then go to like marketing events and stuff like that. Local marketing events. If you have to travel a different state, whatever, but like get to know the people in your niche so you can have partners. You can have JV partners. You can have affiliates who will promote for you and you can promote for them. And in return, um, but when it comes to JV and affiliate recruitment, it's a lot of people think you just go and spam the heck out of everybody. But that doesn't really work. I mean, you could do it that way. You could go and just message everyone and say, "Hey, would you like to promote? Hey, would you like to promote? Hey, would you like to promote?" And you're just playing a numbers game. You might get, out of 100 people, you might get 10. You might just you out of 100 people, you might get 5 or 10, somewhere around there. And those 5 or 10, I mean, could do, do some serious damage in a good way, meaning they could send a lot of traffic if you get some top affiliates. uh Getting affiliate, doing a big JV affiliate product launch was powerful. It's powerful. Definitely this is where the big money is at. Now, in some cases the launch itself may not make you a lot of money because if you're paying out a lot of commissions to affiliates, you might not get as much money out of the launch as you'd like. But you're going to get a big buyers list, and you could turn that buyers list into a lot of money in the back end by promoting high ticket offers in the back end, or promoting affiliate products, relevant affiliate products, and making some money off your list, your new list. So even if you don't make a ton of money, like let's say you make 3,000 on the launch and you only walk away with 1,000, you can still the buyers list that you built, you can still turn that into like 5 figures, 10K or more if you do things properly. So There's definitely a lot of just doing a big JV affiliate product line is definitely beneficial. Now let's look at the quick product launch. So this is what I like to do. I don't like to spend a lot of time recruiting affiliates and stuff because it's kind of annoying. I wouldn't consider myself antisocial, but don't I mean, I'm more of like a one man army type of guy. And then, if people want to work with me, then great. But I don't like to go out of my way to get favors and stuff, ask people for favors and stuff. I don't really like doing that. So I do quick product launches. Instead of doing one big product launch, I'll do multiple product launches in the span of, a product launch every 2 weeks or a product launch every week. And just, do a bunch of them and let them add up as opposed to just doing one big launch, right? So that's how I do it. And if you're going to do a quick product launch, obviously you're not going to have a lot of affiliates and JVs to rely on, so you have to get your own traffic. So for me, if I was in the internet marketing niche when I did most of my launches, and I just used the Warrior Forum because it's already a marketplace with traffic, and I used my list. When I was in the basketball niche, I used YouTube and my list. So I had a YouTube following and I had a list. So if you're going to do the quick product launch, you have to know how to get traffic. Many different ways to get traffic. We'll talk about that in the traffic videos and marketing videos. But, traffic, you have YouTube video marketing, you have Facebook marketing, you have solo advertising, your banner advertising, a bunch of different ways to get traffic. So, but the quick product launch is basically you create the product, you launch it, and you send your own traffic to it. You don't worry about affiliates. If you pick up some affiliates organically, awesome, but your focus isn't on doing a big launch where you're like hyping it up and all that stuff. You just kind of let the product sell itself and you get your own traffic. All right. So that's the quick product launch. And then a private product launch. So this is, sometimes I'll do a product launch and I'll just like promote it to my list and that's it. So it's like, basically it's like exclusive to your list. Now, if you don't have a list, obviously this is not something you can do. But once you start, like building your lists, building relationships with people and building a fan base, you can do private launches. And your private launches you can make them more expensive on the expensive side. So like my private launches, they're usually like coaching launches, usually like coaching programs and stuff like that. And I'm only looking for maybe 3 or 4 people, to be honest. And the price is usually $4.97 or higher. We need a few people. I just do a little launch and I get a few people and I work with those people and I get them results. As opposed to doing making a little ebook. Ebooks are cool. Video courses are cool. But for me, when I'm doing private launches, it's about getting people results, right? And the best way to get people results for me is through coaching or some type of done for you service. So usually when it comes to private launches with my list, that's what it consists of. All right, cool. Also, like live events, like live webinars or live broadcasts can be another form of a private launch. But basically a private launch is just like a launch you do where you're not really marketing it to the public, so. All right, cool. So how to do a successful product launch, right? So I just want to break this down. So obviously you have to create the product. You have to create the product. You have to, you definitely want to, build some hype. Different ways to go about it. I mean, it depends on what type of product launch you're doing. But here's like the basics, right? The basics. So these are the things you have to do, right? You have to have a great product. I mean, you could create a crappy product because there's a lot of people who've done successful launches with crappy products. But your brand is on the line, your reputation is on the line. You might as well create a great product, right? So create an amazing product, amazing hook, amazing sales copy. I should have put amazing hook and amazing sales copy before amazing product because that's more important than the product itself. If you don't have a good hook, an excellent hook, and your copy sucks, no one's ever going to see the product in the first place. So that's why the copy and the hook are so important. Like the hook, when I say the hook, I basically mean the headline, right? The headline needs to be compelling. It needs to make people jump out of their seats. You need to spend some time on that headline. Get that headline perfect. You know, when somebody reads that headline, they should get excited. People should get excited. They should visually be able to visualize the result they're gonna get. So your headline should definitely explain what's your promise. What is someone going to get when they sign up and work with you? Specifically, am I gonna make 6 figures a year? Am I gonna make $1,000 in 30 days? What's gonna happen? Right. So come up with a night, like a hook that, an angle that no one else has, right? So not the typical stuff that's annoying, that's boring. Come with something new, something fresh, right? And your sales copy, sales copy, the whole point is really to get people excited, explain the offer, kind of tap into their emotion, get them emotional, like, talk about their fears and their issues and their problems, and then basically let them know that this product is going to solve that for them, right? Get reviews, testimonials, and proof. So if you want to make sure your product sells, you get these 3 things and your product will sell. If you make a product with an amazing hook, amazing sales copy, you have reviews, you have testimonials, you have proof, your product will sell. Guarantee. Proof is the number one thing. This is the number one thing. Like, if you can show proof, evidence that what you do works, people will eat it up. Right. So that's the main thing. But sometimes you're not able to have proof, or maybe the proof isn't as solid as you'd like. So then you focus on the other things: reviews, testimonials. This is social proof, and having a great hook, excellent hook, and sales copy. Recruit and attract affiliates. So this makes your life a lot easier. If you can recruit and attract the top affiliates, like the people who are really good at getting traffic and stuff like that, you could pretty much just put out the product and just sit back and just sip your coffee or your tea and watch the sales pour in. If you get some really good affiliates, right? Because that's their job. That's what they do, is they get traffic and they send it to high converting offers. So as long as your offer is good, as long as your offer is high converting, the affiliates will be happy to promote. So just make sure you follow these things. Like I said, amazing product with amazing hook and sales copy, and you have reviews, testimony, and proof. And the affiliates you will attract affiliates, but you'll also be able to recruit them. You'll be able to go out. You find affiliates, basically you find people who have done product launches, successful product launches. They're willing to be affiliates as well. You have Facebook groups, JV groups. You can go into what else? Yeah, you can the main things I do when it comes to affiliate recruitment is I just look at people who've done successful launches, honestly, and I reach out to them. But you got to build relationships, so you got to reach out to them in a friendly way. Don't even bring up your product. Work on the relationship before the product launch. So if you know who the top sellers are and stuff like that, start building a relationship before you're even done with your product. So when it's time to ask for that favor, it's it doesn't come off as cheesy, oh, this guy's just talking to me so I can promote his product. No. And like I say, you can go to the events the JV, the internet marketing events, go and meet them in person. Build relationships. Affiliate recruitment really comes down to building real relationships, kind of like a friend. If you had a friend, your best friend was an affiliate marketer, and you asked him or her to promote for you, they probably would, right? Because it's your best friend, So if you can make friends with these people, they'll have no problem promoting for you. It's all love. But if you're strangers, there's no value there. They just feel like they're being used if you ask them to promote, and probably say no. So work on building a relationship with those affiliates. Have a traffic plan. So this is very important, especially if you're not going to spend much time on recruiting affiliates. You need to know how to get traffic. You got to know how can you get targeted traffic to your offer. In some cases, it would be better to create a squeeze page first. So, focus on building your list and then sending them to the offer right after they opt in. So some people, their business model, this is something you could actually do. But the business model could literally be, you just have a squeeze page that's congruent with your actual product. You're giving away something free similar to your product, maybe a cheat sheet or something. And then right after they get access to their free cheat sheet or free whatever, offer, video, whatever, then they go straight to the sales page of the actual product, right? And that can be your whole entire business model. You just send traffic to a squeeze page, and the squeeze page upsells the product, and the product has an upsell, and then they go into your email series, and email series promotes high ticket. That could be your whole business, right? So you definitely want to get good at traffic, and we have some videos in this membership where you can learn some powerful traffic generation methods. So you do these things and you can do a successful product launch, my friend. Okay, so what to do if a product launch doesn't go as planned? All right, because this happens sometimes, right? So I'm gonna break this down for you. Pretty simple. Relaunch with a better hook and strategy. Okay, so sometimes the product launch doesn't go well because the hook, the sales copy, the offer just wasn't that great. Okay, it didn't resonate with your target audience. Your product launch strategy probably wasn't all that great. Probably didn't get any affiliates on board. You didn't build an early bird list. The early bird list is like a list of people who you basically you let them know, hey, I'm going to be launching this product at a specific day and time. And if you get on an early bird list, you'll be able to get the product for a cheaper price, right? When you do that, when you build an early bird list, what that does is it makes people know that you have a product and it's coming out soon. So you actually have people waiting on your product. That's pretty powerful. To have people waiting on your product, like when Apple announces they're gonna launch the next iPhone, like you literally have people sitting there waiting, oh man, I can't wait until it launches. So you can do something similar with your product, let them know what the headline is, the hook is. They hear about it, they're like, oh wow, I'm gonna learn how to take a $50 bill and turn it into 5,000 in 7 days. Oh wow, I can't wait for that one. So you got to have some really good hooks, right? And you got to be strategic. Turn a product into a free offer and use it to build your list. So sometimes the product that launches doesn't go as planned. You can just turn it into a freebie, give it away for free. If it's like a full product funnel, you could break it up and just just turn it into bonuses and stuff like that. You can always repurpose content. So if a product launch doesn't go as planned, you can always use that content for something else. You can always do another launch or turn it into a freebie or turn it into something, but don't feel like, oh, because a product launch didn't go as planned that it was a failure. No, it wasn't. You just created some great content that you can repurpose and use for other things. All right. A relaunch with a credible JV partner. All right. So these are 3 things you can do. Now the relaunch with a credible JV partner, basically you find somebody who has a track record of successful product launches and you tell them, hey, I have this product, kind of new to the game. I'd love to launch it. So would you like to launch a product together? Basically, you're going to have some people that are going to be down. If you reach out to enough people, some of them are going to be down, especially if the product's good. And, that's pretty straightforward. You have a high quality product. You follow the steps I told you, as far as having a really good hook, really good, sales copy and all of that. Well, let's say you just weren't able to get enough traffic to it or whatever, didn't plan out the launch properly. You can just get a JV partner, somebody who's a big hitter. Big hitter is basically someone who, whenever they put out a launch, it's always big, right? So if you team up with that guy or that girl, chances are you're gonna have a successful launch. All right, so that's pretty much it for this video. Just want to break it down for you. We're gonna have some more detailed videos below, but this is just like a summary so you understand product launches and you understand the value. You can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money with product launch. You know, you can, on the low end, you might do a couple hundred on a product launch, or in the high end, you could do 5 figures. You know, so you could do 6 figures. You know, I personally, I haven't done 6 figures on a launch. What I have been able to do, though, is I've been able to take a small launch and turn it into 5 figures by doing some stuff in the back end. So, no product, you know, creating a product, you know, you can do that for that can be no cost, and you can create a product from scratch, you know, maybe invest in like a ebook cover and stuff like that, $5 or whatever, and like, so that's creating a product and like outsourcing the ebook cover and stuff like that may cost you like $5 to $15, and then you could make, you know, anywhere from a couple hundred to the 5 figures. I think that's pretty awesome, if you ask me. That's why I like digital product launches, because you can literally create a product from scratch with no investment and turn that into a couple hundred to a couple thousand. So this is how you do a product launch. You know, a quick little summary. You know, so we're gonna have some more videos below this. It's gonna give you some more instructions on how to do a successful product launch, but it's pretty much how it goes, man. So hope you got some value out of this video. Keep moving forward, keep hustling, keep doing your thing, and you're gonna make 6 figures. All right, let's make it happen. All right, see you in the next video. Peace.